When I came to Georgia Southern, it was still Georgia Southern College in 1987. A couple years later, I was a part of the group that experienced the ceremony to turn into Georgia Southern University. So it was, it's a high time, of fun here. But it was very exciting because it was part of the time when the football was doing very well. We had just won our first two national championships, and I was here for the and working in the broadcast field on the 89 and 90 national championships as well. So it was fun while I was here. Well, first of all, the name of the degree was different because when I came through, it was communication arts with an emphasis in broadcasting. Most of my classes were in the trailer, the broadcast trailer, the communication arts trailer, and all of the TV classes were in the Carroll building. And I was actually one of the lab assistants there for about 3 years. I think it's a little different when I came out, but I think it still holds true to now. The department does such a good job with teaching all aspects, whether it's journalism, whether it's production, whether it's multimedia, whether it's PR. When I came through, it was mandatory. We had to have a 15-hour internship. That prepared us for our first job. Most of the time in our internships, for me, for example, I interned with a couple people that were at UGA, and one guy was from, it was like a art school in Atlanta. I knew more than they did, because these guys they were trying to get an hour here, an hour there, or trying to find this. But, I was already, for one, I was a lab assistant for 3 years, so I knew a lot more than they did. So I was more prepared than most of the other interns that came through, which in turn helped me land my first job. So again, the staff and the faculty here does such a good job with preparing the students, letting them, teaching and letting them learn all the aspects. So when they do go out and get their internship, or even if they don't get their internship, they've already gone through and experienced a lot of things that most people coming out of other colleges won't have. Well, again, technology is a lot. It's cheaper now. I'm not saying that the quality is cheaper, but as far as getting into it is cheaper. When I came through, we had 3/4-inch tape and the bigger camera. So when you were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on the cameras and on the switchers and all of that stuff, now you can use your phone to take photos, and you can actually do edit of photos and video, and you can actually edit on your phone and boom, post it to the internet. It's that much easier. And I was just talking with one of the other board members a little while ago. I happened to come across somebody that maybe a couple years out of school. This guy has his own production company, self-funded, through the stock market, but now it's a lot easier to get in with a little bit of money, whereas when I came through, you had to have a lot of money, deep pockets, to really make an impact, and you had to take that first job someplace. Well, again, the technology is getting smaller and smaller. Like I said, we have video on our better video probably than what you're shooting on now in your pocket, and everybody has it. Everybody can, go out and purchase a Mac or a PC, and they have that particular editing software. And a lot of classes that are being taught are taught software driven, whereas when I was in school, we didn't have the software, the nonlinear editing. We had strictly, tape to tape linear editing, and you had to have a lot of money to get that equipment. Well, now you can, learn a lot of this stuff on your own. So, again, we have high school students, even middle school students actually going through this stuff in school. So, by the time they get to college, they have already put together more things than I did when I graduated college. These kids now going into college have done far more than I did when I graduated college. Actually, I do. I have one of my my first TV class, TV1 at the time, um, it was all done. The way it was produced, the way Kent Murray taught the class, he taught it as if we were doing live, a live newscast. We had to do a newscast. We had to do a commercial, and it was actually as if the commercial was live on TV. So one of the guys, we all had to write different commercials, and my commercial was, I don't know if you remember the cereal at the time, it was Nuts and Honey, or Nut and Honey. And you know, the guys that were in my class, you know, we were sitting around the table doing the commercial, you know, on camera, and say, "What is that, man?" "Nothing, honey." You know, "My name's not Honey. Stop calling me Honey." "What is that?" I said, "Nothing, honey." And then, you know, you had to go through the whole legal spiel about what the cereal is about, and then at the very end of it, it said, "I told you, it's nothing, honey. Stop calling me Honey." So that's the, you know, it's corny, but that's one of the funniest things that I've gone through.